Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and place to be, it's Deb C. Bloop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, and happy Monday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week so far and a great day. And as promised, we're going to talk about episode 2 of Ladies of London, The New Reign. They start off by talking about the difference between Brits and Americans. And one of the big differences is that Americans talk more, where it seems like maybe whenever Americans walk into a store, we lead with like, my name is Debbie and this is what I do. And then they're just talking, and then we're just talking and talking and talking. I can see that. Okay, Micah, we find out she had started taking and she started doing etiquette because she was at one of these parties in London while she was dating her now husband, Marco. And everybody at the table was so properly, had perfect etiquette, perfect manners. And she kind of felt like a little bit like a fish out of water. And he said, well, why don't you go and take an etiquette class? So she did. And now that's what she makes her money as. And she actually, listen, this would be the start and the end of the resume for me if I was her. She was trained by the woman who actually trained Princess Diana. Like prior to training Princess Diana, she had worked under the Queen of England. And she trained Diana in etiquette. That would be it. That if I saw somebody, if I was looking for someone to give me etiquette lessons and I saw that, I would be like, that's it. End of story. I'm hiring you. Or if I was an etiquette expert, which I would never be, obviously, I would, if that was on my resume, I would lead everywhere with that. Everywhere. People would get tired of it. She did say that her husband, Marco, travels all week for work. And I'm wondering if this could be a problem for them. I'm just saying. And she said because of that, she doesn't have any other family there. So her friends are like her family. And she says, if I didn't have Dara, I don't know what I would do. So we'll see later. Speaking of Dara, she FaceTimes Lottie, and she's also talking to the producer like during the confessionals. I did notice though, her confessionals looked very different from everyone else's confessionals. Like her confessionals were kind of closer up on her face, which I thought was odd. The question from the producer was, what do you think about the rumor that you're a madam? And she said, she basically was like very blasé about it. She was like, very nonchalant. She's like, it's not a big thing. I think Micah is a little too sensitive. And she said, people formulate rumors about people with large personas. And Micah doesn't have that. Bitch, who are you? Is this Dara? Is she a household name? I mean, I'm sorry. Is Dara like Beyonce over in London? Is she like Beyonce, or so she's just one name? So she's like Dara, like Beyonce, Madonna, Cher, Gaga, like a Lady Gaga. Bitch, she's not, I don't, people are going to formulate rumors and spread rumors about people who are big deals because I lead a very different life from everybody. That she doesn't. Come on. Emma meets up with Mark. Now, Mark and Emma, for real, they're besties. They are besties so much in that one of her youngest son, Emma's younger son, is actually Mark's godchild. So Emma, Mark, and Kimmy meet up for lunch or meet up for a drink. Spill the tea. They start spilling the tea about the rumor, the Madam rumor. And Emma is very nice. Like, Emma will listen to the gossip, but she wants to stay above it. Like, she doesn't want to have any parts of it. And there's a part of me that even is like, maybe part of her doesn't even want to hear it. You know, just because she has she is really deep into royal life. So much so that I think for like at Dara's, at the end of the episode, when Dara has the party, her dinner party, she's like, I just came from Kensington Palace. I'm like, oh, ooh, she rich. She's in there. Okay. Mark says that they are talking about Dara and how Dara had gone to a wedding in Tuscany. She didn't know where in Tuscany, just in Tuscany, because her assistant or something got her there. I don't know, gave her the directions or got her there. And Mark says that he bought a house in Tuscany because he wants to spend more time with his father now that it sounded like maybe his health was failing. And he didn't have like a normal childhood. When he was growing up, his parents were married, but they didn't even live in the same country. And Mark didn't have a great relationship with his father. He didn't speak to his father for like 3 decades. Like, for some reason, I'm thinking 34 years, but he didn't talk to his father for a long time. And now he's reaching out because he doesn't want it to be like too late. You know what I mean? He wants to say everything that he wants to say. Okay, so Martha at her garage. Martha's at her garage, and her friend Mimi, who's an interior decorator, she shows up. She's going to help Martha redo her house. Like I said, it's very much giving Sonia's townhouse, because it needs painted. She has the bird, so there's some bird crap. And also it looks like maybe some of the carpeting on the stairs is coming up. So she just needs to have a little, she just wants to like renovate a little bit. And she talks again about her life. Like, she said she had a really tough time, like, because when she decided to divorce her husband, her husband got his attorney, but then there really wasn't anything else left, like any money left for her to even fight it. So the only thing that she took from that marriage was her title, Martha Lady Sitwell. She's saying in the past, she would have like found a man and rose to the top again, but she wants to do it on her own this time. And there's something for me that is really, really hoping that she does it. I'm really hoping that Martha can make it back to the top again. I like Martha. I do. Okay. Missy's therapist comes over and visits. Okay, so Missy had said that during her marriage, she was married. He was everything that she needed. Like, he did nothing wrong, but she got bored. So then she ended up going with this guy she calls the fun guy. He was a footballer. Over here, a footballer, means football. But over there, of course, soccer, So he was a fun guy. He was an athlete, a footballer. But he was very draining. And he was very toxic. But she was like, maybe I went towards him because he was like my father. And for so long, that's what I thought was normal. So now she got away from him, and she's now in therapy, and it's teaching her to not keep things in. And her therapist was like, you have to speak what's on your mind. And if people get upset, then that's okay. I mean, you have to stand in your power and you have to speak the truth. Okay. Next, Margot and her baby and Martha meet up at the park. Margot was like, Margot had been remember I said Margot was working in London, and then she left, she went back to America, and she came back. The difference between now and before is that now she is sober. She says, I got sober because Martha broke me. She says that she went on like a holiday with Martha and Martha's boyfriend at the time. And for 1 week, one place, and for another week, someplace else. And by the end of that, I think she said she was crying vodka or something like that. She had drank so much that she was just like, I cannot do it anymore. And Martha, once again, I'm rooting for Martha, but I don't know if Martha's gullible or she just wants to believe people, but she's like, yeah, I met a sweet guy in the park who said he's a painter, he paints, I gave him money, and Margot's like, but he didn't do any work yet, and you don't have any paint. I fear that she got taken. Oh no, Martha. I fear that she had gotten taken by this man in the park. I hope not, but it sounds like she did. Okay, Dara's party. On the way over there, Missy is really stressing out because she is going to come out and say something about what Dara said about Micah. So people are trickling in, and so listen, there's 3 women who are standing with Dara. And someone says to one of the women, oh, how do you know Dara? And she couldn't answer the question, like, how do you know Dara? She had no idea and then she said, oh, I'm a fan. And I thought, you ain't beating that rap that you're a madam. And Martha said the same thing. She's like, that doesn't seem like she's beating that rap. Margot is also not convinced that she is not a madam, because she said Margot was like, she has a doctorate in diplomacy. Like, she's very nice, and she brings up that she knows people, the same people that I know. She's like, all of that is a prerequisite for being a madam. So everybody's there, I think, except for Emma. Emma comes a little bit later. So everybody's seated, and Dara just gives like this welcoming, speech. And she's like, I want to invite everyone because we're all entrepreneurs who came from nothing. And then they show there's at least 4 people around the table who came from extreme wealth. Like, they're Nepo babies. They came from extreme wealth. They're not self-made. She's like, we're all self-made. They're like, look, what? Look around this table. Very few of us are self-made. And I think it was Kimmy who was like, an entrepreneur? What? No, that's not me. Missy says off camera, she's like, listen, I have to say something, because I don't like it when women are hypocrites, when women will stand up and celebrate other women, and then they'll turn around and they'll stab that same person in the back and talk behind their back about them and say, shady things about them. So Missy speaks up and she's like, listen, I feel like you put me in a really bad position by talking so negatively about Micah. And then she came out and said what Dara had said, that she's cringe, that she's embarrassing, that she hated the microphone, the pink walkie-talkies. I would love pink walkie-talkies. I would love a walkie-talkie, and I would love a pink walkie-talkie. I'm sorry. That's fantastic. Dara immediately is like, she doesn't get upset or anything. She's very calm and cool. She's like, she says something like, Micah's my sister, and I love the walkie-talkies. I didn't say any of that. Girl, you're going to tell on yourself. You're going to self-snitch in a little bit. And Micah, so after that then, Missy and Lottie go to the bathroom, and she's like, what the hell? I said, now people think that I'm trying to break up a friendship or something. And did you see Dara? Dara's looking at Missy like, is she or Micah's looking at Dara. Is she controlled by Dara or something? What is going on? And meanwhile, back at the table, Micah does say in confessional, she's like, I believe Missy. I believe what Missy's saying, which is surprising to me. I really thought, if anything, that she would have been like, no, I believe Dara. Dara's my friend. But Micah does believe Missy, because she said, Dana does use the word cringe a lot. And cringe is a word that Americans use. It's not really used that much by the British. So Micah goes over to talk to Dara, and Dara just refuses to talk to Micah about it. She's like, not now, later. We'll talk some other time. She just refuses to talk about it. Dara then gets up, leaves, talks to the producers, and is like, I can't do this. And then admits on camera that she did make those nasty remarks about her friend. Like, on camera, says it, goes back to the table, and then lies on camera and says, I didn't say that. 5 minutes ago, you just said it. So people are going back and forth, and then they say, Dara refuses to talk about it. She refuses to say anything about it. So people are like, let's drop it then. Martha admits that she says to Dara, she said, I heard this rumor and I spread this rumor that you're madam. I'm so sorry. And all Dara says is twice. She says, I'm an architect. I'm an architect. She doesn't, there's no yelling at Martha saying, what the hell? If that was me, I'd be like, I'm sorry, that's defamation. And your ass could be sued. So, that's not cool. She didn't say that. She just said, I'm an architect. And through all of this, Mike is just sitting there, just sitting back, not really saying anything. Lottie says something about it, and then Mark is like, yeah, the one person that we did not hear from is Micah. Micah, what do you want to say? She says, listen, I'm hurt and I'm stunned because I've been such a loyal friend. And basically, like, if you can't say something to someone's face, then don't say it behind their back. Just don't say it. She didn't say this, but maybe just keep it to yourself. Dara then stands up. Dara then says that she's leaving the show. Listen, I can't do this. I'm not made for this. I'm leaving the show. And what did Mark say? Mark said something like, you don't have to announce that you are cut. You've already been cut. But listen, she immediately, and Emma clocked it. Emma was like, what is this? Because she didn't get her way. She's now like a child. She's just leaving the sandbox. Like she's just leaving. That to me shows that some of this stuff is right. Well, obviously it's on film that you admitted saying that shit about Dara. But I mean, if you're not a madam, why wouldn't you say something like, listen, that's defamation. That you might want to watch out, because I could contact and I just may contact my lawyers. Instead, you just up and quit. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that she is, but that doesn't make it look good. So she just quit the show, just like that, which is okay, because I didn't like her. So, okay. So the second episode, that was the second episode of Ladies of London, The New Reign. If you watched, please let me know. And listen, if nobody told you yet today, you were loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world, so it comes right back at you. Please always take care of one another and spread kindness, because it is free. Always be aware of your surroundings. Be smart and safe. Let's hydrate with some water. And if you're in a dangerous situation, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and positive energy your way so you make it through. You may or may not get a video tomorrow on Tuesday. So listen, if not, and I'm off Tuesday, so we'll see what I do. All right. I will see you guys probably on Wednesday then. All right. Bye guys. Have a great week. I'll talk to you later. Bye guys. Bye.